Hello everyone, Chrono here. For most viewers, this will come up as a surprise because I've never done a rant video before. New content aside, it's about time I get onto the topic at hand, the Team Fortress 2 community. As most players know, every community has some toxic people in it. There are no exceptions. TF2 is no exception either. The Team Fortress 2 community has always been a very creative one, with many YouTubers and content creators making it increasingly popular. However, as good players bring new players to the game, there are others who make players quit TF2 and possibly never come back. As some of you might know, I actually quit Team Fortress 2 for a couple of months, the reason being the community. A few reasons why the community made me quit is as follows. 1. Players who vote kick for no reason, and the players who vote blindly. Some players sometimes decide to call a vote to kick someone, with the reason rarely ever being actually reasonable. For example, imagine that you're playing as the medic. You are topping the leaderboards and you are healing everyone, and not just pocketing a soldier or a heavy while ignoring everyone else. Then some heavy on your team rages at you in chat for not pocketing him constantly, and then he calls a vote to kick you for, quote-unquote, being idle. That sounds idiotic enough, but it only gets worse. For some reason, people start voting yes to the vote. The next thing you know, you've been kicked from the server. That is one of the biggest problems with the community. Some players get salty and rage at you, then follow up with a vote to kick you for some stupid reason, and most players, they don't even read what the vote is about, so they just hit yes and you get voted off. It's no secret that some people don't look at the vote. They just hit F1 or whatever key they have bound just to get the vote off their screen, which is a bad habit. After the second problem, trolls. Every game has trolls. There are little to no exceptions to this, just like Rule 34. In Team Fortress, it's usually in the form of either mic spammers, chat spammers, or people who harass you in the chat for any reason they can find, and focus on killing specifically you just to make you angry. Long story short, mic spammers and chat spammers can be solved by simply using the mute button, which most people apparently forget even exists. That's a shame. As for the people who focus on ruining your day in-game, they usually do one of two things, but they might do something else that might not be mentioned on here. 1. They will pick the class they're best at, or whatever class counters you, and they will hunt you down constantly. And they will usually taunt after each kill or mock you in the chat. 2. They will try to actually troll you by going pyro and spamming the scorch shot or detonator at you to make your life a living hell, or pick spy and follow you to steal pickups that you need while spamming voice commands at you constantly. These problems can be solved by simply switching to a different server, which most people apparently find to be surprisingly difficult. Come on guys, it's not that hard. Really. Why do you even bother? 3. Griefers and cheaters. Griefing in Team Fortress 2 is somewhat uncommon, but it's mostly just glitch abuse. A good example of a good griefer is a YouTuber called Delphi, who somehow finds and abuses any and every glitch or bug he can find. It can be amusing to watch his videos, but it's not so fun when you're fighting against a griefer in the game, who's underneath your spawn with his 2 friends, mowing you and your entire team down the second you spawn. I have very little experience with griefers myself, but there are other people who can find them to be very problematic and annoying. On to the cheaters, who people wrongly refer to as hackers most of the time. Let me clear this up. Hackers are skilled programmers who can infiltrate programs, make scripts to work for them, and tamper with computer security, or do vice versa, and do it specifically for security tests, such as for banks and whatnot, so they can have better security. There are many types of hackers, most commonly white hats and black hats, which most people actually have probably heard of. Anyways, someone who just downloaded a script made by a board modder is not a hacker. They're simply cheaters, as they usually cannot even code basic HTML, which is a damn shame, really. So, cheaters usually come in 3 different flavors. Aimbots, speed hackers, and no-spread users. Aimbot is probably the most known cheat in FPS games in general. They will never miss a shot unless they're using projectile weapons. In Team Fortress, aimbot users almost always play sniper, and they automatically headshot anything in their line of sight. That's including cloaked spies. Speed hackers are basically what the name suggests. They move at insane speeds, and because of said speed, they will almost certainly be using aimbot to compensate for their inability to aim. And lastly, no spread users. This cheat is once again what the name suggests. Bullets will never deviate from the crosshair, so the shotgun's pellets will always be in a perfectly straight line, and the heavy's minigun will be a death ray. Most cheats are detectable by Valve Anti-Cheat, or VAC, banning cheaters from joining VAC-secured servers. The few that do slip by VAC are usually acquired by someone who sends the script to Valve, so the script gets added to VAC's blacklist, banning that cheat as well. And last but not least, pub stompers. In case anyone does not know what a pub stomper is, it's usually one or more players who join a casual lobby, and they will obliterate the enemy team. And most of the time, they will have a medic with his dick up their ass. They will have a medic who is pocketing them constantly, and usually with a crit screen. They usually ignore the objective and just kill everyone they can, progressing to the enemy team's spawn point, where they will spawn camp. Such players usually have contact with each other via TeamSpeak, Discord, or Skype. Wait, people still use Skype for communicating in games? And then there's usually that one guy,
oh my god, fucking retards, go fuck off back to competitive mode, you low-life scumbags,
who gets promptly voted off by someone on his team for, quote-unquote, scamming. Jeez, this community's fucked. And let's not forget, most of us have done some pub stomping before and have obviously got stomped by other pub stompers at least once. So now that we have these 4 problems covered, I believe it's time to summarize what has been discussed and what can be done about these problems. If someone calls a vote against you for some invalid reason, you can actually avoid the kick by simply opening the console and entering in retry. This will cause you to reconnect to the server, avoiding the kick in the process. Just don't abuse this, thanks. You'll probably abuse the shit out of it now that I've said it. God damn it. As for trolls, mute them. If they hunt you, you can either be ready for them and outplay them, or just go to another server. Griefers can be countered very easily if they are on the enemy team and are stupid enough to have an active teleporter to the glitched spot where they are camping. If this happens, simply pick Spy, use their teleporters, kill them in their buildings, and destroy the teleporter exit. The funny thing is, they usually leave the game if you do this, probably out of either rage or confusion. It's funny when it happens. As for cheaters, address the cheater to your team and try to vote the cheater off. This will obviously not work if they're using the retry command, so if they dodge the vote, all they can do is keep playing, or go to another server. As for pub stompers, you can try to kill them and make them quit, or you can, once again, go to another server. There is little left to discuss for now, so I will cut this video here. Leave a like if you enjoyed watching this video and want to see more of it in the future. Or leave a dislike and tell me on how I can improve on future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you folks in the next video.